All blessings to the assembled devotees. Thank you very much. So, this is the process of Cheta Darpana Marjanam, to cleanse the material dust from the mirror of our mind. The whole process is to dust out the dirty things which we have accumulated by our material association, and therefore to revive our spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. From Bhagavad Gita we are studying about the process of life by which we can revive our Krishna consciousness. There is no need of external help for reviving Krishna consciousness. You have got Krishna consciousness dormant in your self. It is the quality of the self. So we have simply to invoke by this process. Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha Sadha Kavu Nahe. This Krishna consciousness is an eternal fact. It is nothing that by this organization we are imposing upon you something extra. No. It is within you. It is within every living entity. Any living entity, never mind whether he is human being or animal. When Lord Chaitanya was singing this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, he was passing through jungles, forests, and the tigers, the elephants, the stag, and all, and these forest animals, they joined. They joined. It is such a thing. Of course, it depends on the pure hearted chanting. As we become, this is the process, as we become advanced in this chanting method, similarly our heart becomes freed from all the dirty things of material contact. So even the animals can be captivated by this chanting. What to speak of human beings. So in our practical life, Krishna advises how to invoke this Krishna consciousness. He said, Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita jnanagni dagsha karmana tamahu panditang buddha. Stop. Why do they come and talk nonsense? Yasya sarve samarambha. You are not forbidden to execute your duties. We are not after stopping the general process of material activity. That is not our mission. The whole thing is that we have to act everything in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness. Just like it is very easy to understand. Everybody has got some vocation of his life. But what is that consciousness? The consciousness is that I am engaged in this business, I am engaged in this service because I have to maintain my family, I have to maintain myself, or I have to satisfy the government, or I have to satisfy somebody else. This is our consciousness. Nobody is free from such consciousness. Everybody must have some consciousness. Without consciousness nothing can be done. One who has no consciousness, he cannot do anything nicely. If his consciousness is disturbed, then his work cannot be. It's just like a madman. A madman cannot do anything nice because his consciousness is disturbed. So, similarly, if we change the procession that I am to satisfy Krishna, just like we are doing everything with that idea to satisfy somebody else, or at least myself, for my satisfaction. This process has to be changed to Krishna consciousness. That's it. This process has to be changed into Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Lord Krishna says, Yasya sarve samarambha. Those who want to come, you can invite them, come inside. Yasya sarve samarambha. Whatever activities you may do it. But kama sankalpa varjita. Kama sankalpa varjita. Don't be carried away by kama. Kama means for your own satisfaction. Kama. The word, Sanskrit word kama is used for lust, for desire, for sense satisfaction. So Lord Krishna recommends that don't do it for satisfaction of your senses, for satisfaction of your lust, or for satisfaction of your desire. That is the whole thing, whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is based on this principle. The whole instruction to Arjuna is that Arjuna wanted to satisfy his senses. His senses. He wanted that by not fighting with the opposite party, who are composed of his relatives, brothers, and brother-in-laws and father-in-law and so many relatives. So he did not want to fight, and therefore this instruction of Bhagavad Gita was needed by Krishna. The whole basic principle is this. Now, that was Arjuna's own satisfaction of the senses. Arjuna did not want to fight. Materially, it appears very nice that he is giving up his claim of kingdom for satisfying his relatives. He's a very good man. But Krishna did not approve it. Why? Because the basic principle was Arjuna decided to satisfy his own senses. Externally it appeared very nice. But anything which is done for the satisfaction of his own senses, that is kama, lust, desire. Here it is prescribed that you can do anything. There is no harm. Whatever your business or vocation or occupation you are engaged, that has not to be changed. That has not to be changed. Simply your consciousness has to be changed. That's it. Kamaraga vivadhita. How that consciousness can be changed? The Jnanagni, Dagdha, Karmana, that consciousness, transferring the present self-interested consciousness to Krishna consciousness, requires knowledge. Requires knowledge. And what is that knowledge? That knowledge is that I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am not different from Krishna. I am part and parcel. I am the superior energy of Krishna. That is knowledge. Knowledge means to understand something, how this tape record is manufactured. If we get some knowledge, technical knowledge, that is not knowledge. That is of course, to have some our occupation executed, that knowledge is temporary knowledge. But real knowledge this is real knowledge. The real knowledge is that when one understands convincingly that I am part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna or God, when you say Krishna, you should understand the Supreme Lord, the Absolute Truth. Krishna is the technical word which is meant for indicating the Absolute Truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the whole pleasure, the whole attraction. These are the meaning of Krishna. So we are all part and parcel of the supreme pleasure. And our pleasure, just like my hand, this is my hand. Now, this my hand can take pleasure when it is attached with my body. My hand can take pleasure when it serves my body. It does not take pleasure by serving your body. This is the whole secret. So therefore, because I am part and parcel of Krishna, my pleasure, my happiness is dependent by serving Krishna. Just like my senses are satisfied when they are used for my purpose, not for your purpose. This is the whole philosophy. I cannot be satisfied by serving you. I can be satisfied by serving me. But that me I do not know. That is Krishna. That is Krishna. So when we begin to serve Krishna, because we are part and parcel, always remember the part and parcel. We are Mamaivangsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. In the 15th chapter you find all these living entities, they are mine, eternal, part and parcel. Now they are detached. Now they are detached by material contact. They are detached. So we have to, the whole process is that we have to attach it. Now we are detached. Now we have to attach it. That is Krishna consciousness. That Krishna consciousness is within you because you are originally, eternally the part and parcel of the Supreme. Artificially, I am trying to forget it. I am trying to live independently. That is not possible. We are not independent. If we want to live independently, that means we voluntarily become dependent of the influence of material nature. That's it. Actually you are not independent. If I think that I am independent of Krishna, then I am dependent on the influence of material nature. Just like if I think that I am independent of government regulation, then I become dependent of the police force. My dependence is neither in this way or that way, I see. So that is our mistake. Everyone is trying to become independent. That is called Maya. That is called Maya or illusion. Nobody can be independent. Individually, community-wise, society-wise, or nation-wise, you can extend, even universal-wise. Nobody can be independent. We are dependent. And this is called knowledge. When we come to this sense that I am dependent, I am not independent, this is called knowledge. Now we are misguided. Jnanagni dagdha karmana. In other place we find Krishna says, Bhoktaram jagatavasam sarvaloka maheswaram sridam sarvabhutanam jnata mam shantimicchati. Now people are planning for peace in the world, but they do not know how to formulate that peace formula. You know, the United Nations are trying for the last 20 years or more than that for peace, but there is no peace actually in the world. The war is going on. Because they do not know. The formula is in the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita says, the bhaktaram jagatavasam sarvaloka maheswaram, I am the proprietor of everything, whatever you are doing. I am the ultimate beneficiary. I have to take the result. Just like a laborer works in a factory, but who is the proprietor? The ultimate proprietor is the proprietor is the ultimate owner of the. So everything, whatever we do, jnanagni dagdha karmana. Now we are thinking that this thing I am doing, I am the proprietor of this thing. That is misconception. When you understand that everything, whatever we are doing, the ultimate proprietor is Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness. That is jnanagni dagdha karmana. So we can have simply, just like in an office. In an office, so many people are working. Hundreds of people are working. Everyone is conscious that whatever we are acting, whatever profit we are making, that belongs to the proprietor. Then there is peace. As soon as the cashier thinks, oh, I have got so much money, I am the proprietor, then whole trouble begins. This consciousness, Krishna consciousness, if we understand that I am a very rich man, I have got so much bank balance, I can use it for my self-gratification, that is kama. That is kama. But if we understand that whatever I have got, it belongs to Krishna, then I am liberated first. I am liberated. This is Krishna. You will have the same money under your custody. It doesn't matter. But as soon as you think that I am the proprietor of this wealth, then you are under the influence of Maya. And as soon as you think Krishna is the proprietor of all these things, then you are free. Kamaraga vivarjita jnanagni dagdha karmana tamahu panditang buddha. One who thinks like that, one who is situated in that consciousness, Pandita Buddha, he is learned and he is actually a man of knowledge. This is the whole process. Tamahu, he is known as the Pandita. Pandita means one who knows things as it is, not to take a thing wrongly. So that consciousness has to be invoked, not only individually, but also community-wise, society-wise, nation-wise, all over the world. Then there will be peace. If you want real peace, Bhoktaram Jagatavasam Sarvabhukamahestaram Sridam Sarvabhutanam Gyattamam Santamichyati. We are just trying to be philanthropic, altruistic, and we are trying to become friend of my countrymen, of my society, of my family. But that is a wrong conception. The real friend is Krishna. I can work on his behalf. How I can work? You try. If you actually want to do something good to your family, then you try to make all the members of your family Krishna conscious. Then your life will be successful. If you want to make them otherwise, without Krishna consciousness, then you will be serving, not serving, it will render them disservice. Because any knowledge will not help your wife or children. Any knowledge, any amount of knowledge will not help. His real problem, what is his real problem, we do not know. The real problem is that we do not know. The real problem is janma mrityu jara vyadhi. The Bhagavad says, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat. One should not try to become father. One should not try to become mother. Why? Namo chayedya samupita mrityam. One who is unable to save his children from the grip of materialism. That should be Krishna consciousness. If you are a responsible father, then if you are completely knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then your duty will be that these creatures, these innocent creatures, now who are playing at my home, as my children, as my boy, now this life should be the last installment of his transmigration from one body to another. I shall train these boys in such a way that after this body he will have no more to go into this cycle of birth and death. That is Krishna consciousness. That means you have to make yourself expert. Then you can help your children also. Then you can help your nation also. Then you can help your society also. If you are yourself ignorant, then andha jathandai rupaniyamana spepi satantra urdam nibadhya. Just like a person who is tightly bound up hands and feet. Suppose we are sitting here, some people, 25 gentlemen, ladies, and all our hands are tightly bound up by some rope. And if I want to make you free, although my hand is also tightly bound up, is it possible? No. At least my hand should be free. Then I can untie your bindings by the rope. So unless one is free man, and what is that freedom? One who is Krishna conscious, he is free man. And nobody is free man. Daivik jesha gunamai mama maya duratya mami vaja prapadanti maya metang tarantite. Everyone is under the spell of material influence. Nobody is free. And one who has surrendered unto Krishna, one who has taken Krishna consciousness, Maya has nothing to do. Maya cannot touch. Just like if you come in front of the sunlight, there is no question of darkness. There is no question of darkness. If you place yourself in light, sunlight, not this artificial light. This artificial light may be extinguished at any time. But sunlight is not like that. So Krishna is just like sunlight. As soon as you come in front of sun, there is no darkness. So there is no ignorance. So there is no Maya. Maya means illusion. So jnanagni dagdha karmana tamahu pandita buddha. In this way, we have to become Buddha. Buddha means learned. And you find in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that the Lord says, who is Buddha and what are the symptoms of Buddha? Buddha means learning. What are the symptoms? What are the symptoms of Mahatma, great soul? And what are the symptoms of Buddha? That is described in Bhagavad Gita. It is said that aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matya bhajante mam buddha bhava samannita. Buddha, this is the very word again is used, Buddha. The Buddha, one who is learning, one who is actually in sense, is not nonsense. He is called Buddha. So Buddha, what are the symptoms? The symptoms of Buddha is that aham sarvasya prabhava. He knows that Krishna is the fountainhead of all emanations. Everything, whatever we find, everything, anything, whatever you see. Now take for example, the material world, the most prominent thing is, unity between man and woman. Now one can inquire where from this attraction comes between male and female, not only the human society, but also in the animal society, in the bird society, in any society, any living. This is a fact. So, somebody criticizes, but those who do not know Krishna, the Krishna had so many girlfriends, so there somebody criticized. But one does not know that where we get this idea of having girlfriends, unless the tendency is in Krishna. Because you can have nothing here unless that is in Krishna. But here it is perverted, it is polluted, and Krishna, it is pure consciousness, pure spiritual. That is the difference. So one who does not know, they want to avoid something. Nothing is, can exist in this material world unless it is in Krishna. Janmadasya jataha. So these things have to be studied very scientifically and from books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and when he is perfectly learning, then his symptom is that he becomes a pure devotee of Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. I am the source, fountainhead, Krishna says. I am the source and fountainhead, like of everything. One who understands this science, then he takes to Krishna. How? Buddha bhava samannita, with full knowledge, and he becomes a devotee of Krishna. Similarly, so far Mahatma Mahatma is a Sanskrit word which is used for great soul. That is also described in the Bhagavad Gita. Mahatma anastamang prartha devi prakriti masita bhajanti ananna manaso gyata bhutadimabhaya. Mahatma. Who is a Mahatma? Who is a great soul? Great soul is he who is under the influence of the superior nature. There are two kinds of nature, superior nature and inferior nature. Now we are under the influence of this inferior material nature. And by Krishna consciousness we shall be transferred into the superior nature. Just try to understand a person in the prison, a person outside the prison. The government's influence is in both the places, outside the prison and inside the prison. But outside the prison, the government's rules and regulation is superior. And inside, there is inferior. The influence is there. Similarly, either in the material world or in the spiritual world, wherever your position is marginal, you can transfer yourself either in this, under the influence of this inferior nature, or you can transfer yourself under the influence of superior nature. Your position is marginal. Now you are given, because Krishna is full independent, and because you are also part and parcel of Krishna, therefore you have got the quality of independence to make your choice, whether to be under the influence of this inferior nature or to become under the influence of superior nature. But because we do not know what is that superior nature, therefore we have no other alternative than to remain in this inferior nature. This is the whole position. Because in the world there are many philosophies. They are informing that there is no other nature. This nature which are experienced, this is troublesome. Make an end of it and become void. Oh, you cannot be void, because you are living entity and eternal. Na hannate hannamane sarire. Your change of body does not mean that you are finished. No, you are continuing. Bhasamsi jinnani. Because I changed my dress, that does not mean that I am finished. So I am eternal. If I have to face if I have to get rid out of the influence of material nature, then I have to seek where is my place. If we do not know, then we prefer, all right, whatever it may be, inferior, superior, let us remain here and rot. So Bhagavad Gita gives you information of the superior nature. Yadgatyana nivartante tadhama parama mama na tad bhashayati sujjana na chandra na pavaka. So we have to become Krishna conscious by scrutinizing, studying this authoritative book, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, without having fashionable interpretation, as it is. What Krishna says, he says for all the time. It does not change. Just like the verse which we are just now discussing, he says that it does not matter in whatever occupation you are. Simply, you have to change your consciousness. You are now guided by the consciousness of self-interest, of sense gratification. Self-interest, not exactly self-interest, because we do not know what is our self-interest. Rather sense-interest, not self-interest, but sense-interest. Whatever we are doing for satisfying the senses. This consciousness has to be changed. We have to satisfy Krishna. That consciousness has to be involved. And then our life will be successful. Thank you very much. If there is any question, you can put.
dedicated to Krishna.
Yes.
The work is not dedicated to Krishna.
Yes.
How specifically, how can you do this?
Yes. Now, this consciousness, how can I do it? Oh, this is also Krishna consciousness. That one is Vedic. Now, just like anything which we do or act, we take some consultation. Just like you are a lawyer and anything has to be done lawfully, we have to take your consultation because you are expert. Similarly, you have to take consultation from a person who is Krishna conscious. It's simple thing.
Well, first of all, if you want to find peace, don't you have to believe that war is wrong, any kind of war?
Yes.
The Bhagavad Gita teaches that there is a good war and a bad war.
Yes.
A little bit like later on the Crusades.
Yes.
It was a holy war and it was looked on as a good war and it killed people for a good purpose.
Yes.
Krishna believed that it was all right to kill the enemies of Arjuna because it was a righteous war. Now, if you have a philosophy like that, can you find peace?
What do you mean by peace then?
Absence of war.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Absence of war is not peace. Just simple. Suppose now there is no war. Do you think that everybody is in peace? Ask any individual person that are you in peace? Are you in peace of mind or peace of... No, war is not only the cause. There are many other causes which disturbs our peace. War is one of the causes. So simply if you stop war, that does not mean peace is guaranteed. No. War is one of the disturbing things of peace. But there are many other disturbing things. Many. Incalculable. Which is disturbing. So we have to take relief from all disturbing positions. War is one of the items. And that can be done when you are Krishna conscious.
Well, how could it be done if you're Krishna conscious and Krishna himself was a proponent of war?
He was sticking to war, and the war was
Well,
necessary.
the Bhagavad Gita starts out with a war.
Yes, but that's all right. But that war was a necessary thing. You cannot, completely eradicate war from the social life. That's why government maintains the law and order force. There is necessity. Why the government maintains so much police force and military force? There is necessity.
Well, if you believe that
when
necessary,
yes,
then that's the end of the discussion, because if you believe it's necessary, then Krishna believes it's necessary.
yes, everything is necessary. But our position is that so far our material existence is concerned, that there are so many things that one thing, the four things, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, that we are under the entanglement of repeated birth, death, diseases and old age. These four things does not depend on war or peace. Suppose there is no war, can you get free from diseases? Suppose there is no war, can you get free from death? Suppose there is no war, can you remain a young man all the time? No. Your problem is these four things. You have to sort that. Janma mrityujara vyadi dukkho dosana darshana. Bhagavad Gita says that this war or no war, that is no question. So long the human society will be there will be sometimes fighting, sometimes peace, sometimes. That is another thing. But the whole problem is that a learned man sees that my problem is that I don't want to die while there is death. I don't want to be old man while there is old age. These are the problems. Real problems, these are the problems. Janma mrityu jalavyadi dukkha doshana darsana. A learned man, a man of real knowledge, he should see that I am not only worse. Suppose there is excessive heat. Oh, I am so much disturbed. There is no peace. Oh, there is excessive snowfall, cold. Oh, I am disturbed. So there are so many disturbances. So we have to get free from all disturbances because I do not want it. My nature does not tolerate these things, but I have been forced to tolerate. That is your problem. That can be solved by Krishna consciousness. We are talking the wholesale solution, not a particular thing. There are so many disturbing things, especially they are under the headings of these four principles. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshana darsana. So, madhyamagatta, that the other day we discussed this law. The tatta deham punarjanmanaiti mameti kaunte. Now one who becomes Krishna consciousness, then the result will be that just after quitting this body, he comes to me. No more coming to this material world. So long you will be in the material world. Material world means so long we will have this material body. We will have to face so many disturbances. War is one of them. Suppose there is no war. Do you mean to say there will be perpetual peace? No, there are so many other things. At once, if there is some upheaval in the Atlantic Ocean, the whole thing is swallowed up. Your beautiful New York City will be no more there. There are so many natural disturbances. What to speak of war? What you have?
Bhagavad Gita speaks of war. It starts
No,
out with
what I mean to say, Bhagavad Gita does not say that stop war. Bhagavad Gita says stop your repeated birth and death. Bhagavad Gita is not concerned with the war principle. The war will live and so long the human society is there. How can you stop it?
some people don't believe that's necessary.
Some people they foolishly believe because so long the human society will continue. There is no history that there was no war in the history. The war there will be.
Well, there's never been in history that everyone has accepted Krishna either. They get-
Now,
hope.
you do not think that, of course, when you have Krishna concept, when you are not in this material world, then there is no question of war also. My point is that war is not only the only disturbing principle. There are many other disturbing principles. So we have to make a wholesale solution of all things. That is the point.
War is only a symptom.
Yes, war is also one of the, just like a man diseased. He is sometimes say, oh doctor, I am feeling some headache. Oh, all right, take this pill, just like I see advertisement. Oh, you are feeling stressed, take this pill. You are feeling this, or take this pill. Just like post office. It's a post office. All letters should be given to the post box. And it will go in different places. So doctor is prescribed like that. But a real doctor, he will see what is the disease there. And if that disease is cured, then he will have no headache, no pain leg, no nothing of this. So if we, Krishna says, tatta deham punarjanmanaiti mameti kaunti. If you become Krishna conscious, The result will be that after finishing this term of your body, we have got different terms of body. So, this term of body, you come unto me. Jadgatyana nivartanti tadhama panamam mama. So our problem is that we are not going to adjust here. Here any amount of adjustment will not make us happy. That is a fact. Because this place is like that. So we have to completely get free from this repeated birth and death on the material world and go back to home, back to Godhead and live peacefully with eternal life, knowledge and bliss. That is the whole thing Bhagavad Gita is teaching. Krishna's business is not to stop war or this or that. Any other question?